Another way, we're going to spend the last portion of this section covering the section expert, and you're going to see that the section expert does quite a bit. The section expert is a tool that enables you to control how a section looks and behaves. To invoke the section expert, you can actually right-click any section over in the gray margin and then select Format Section. This will invoke the section expert. So notice that right now we're within the section expert dialog. Once you're within the section expert, you can actually modify any section in the report. Notice that all of the sections of the report appear here. With the section expert, you can insert and delete subsections, and you can also select from various common options and attach those options conditionally to particular conditions that are going on within your report. Now what I'm going to do right now is give you an overview of what each of these options here does. Freeform placement enables an object to be aligned to the grid or not. If you've selected freeform placement, you can place the objects anywhere that you'd like. And if you remove this check, then the objects are going to align to the grid. Hide prevents a particular section from being printed, but it still allows drill down within that section. Suppress, on the other hand, prevents a section not only from being printed, but also does not allow the user to drill down to the data within that section. Print at bottom of page forces a section to print as far down on a particular page as possible. New page before causes a page eject before a section starts printing. So in other words, if you want to make sure that before a section starts printing that a page break occurs, you would want to select New Page Before. New Page After forces a page break after a particular section completes its printing. Reset Page Number After is used to reset page numbers after a particular section prints. For example, if you had invoices and each invoice were for a particular customer, as you went to each customer, you would want to start the page numbering over again. Otherwise, subsequent invoices would have page numbers on them that reflected all the invoices that printed before them. That wouldn't make very much sense to the person who was actually receiving the invoice. Keep Together prevents Crystal Reports from printing a given record on more than one page. So you can see that within the details section, which is what we're in right now, Keep Together is selected, which keeps a particular record from appearing on more than one page. Suppress Blank section prevents a section with no objects from being printed. So for example, you may have a section and there's no objects on that section, but there's white space within that section. By suppressing a blank section, you're keeping that white space from appearing on the printed report. Underlay following sections prints a watermark or a graphic underneath a section. And finally, Format with Multiple Columns turns that section into a multi-column report. So this is just an overview of what all of these options do. And we're going to be covering a lot of these options within this section. First, we're going to take a look at what happens when you attempt to hide or suppress a section from being printed. With the Details section selected, I'm going to click Hide with drill down OK. Now this was covered briefly in a prior course, but we're going to focus on it right here. I'm going to go ahead and click OK so that we can see the effect of this change. When I preview the report, let's see what happens. When I preview the report, notice that the detail for each city does not appear, but I'm still capable of drilling down to look at the data for a particular city. For example, I can right-click Austin and select Drill Down. And when I do that, I can see all the customers in Austin. If I go back to the Preview tab and look at the tree again, I can find another city, such as Huntsville, right-click Huntsville, and select Drill Down. And I can see that there's actually 3 different customers which are within Huntsville. So again, what we've done is we've hidden that section, but we've said that drill down into that section is okay. So we've hidden the detail section, but we're allowing drill down into it. Now let's go back to the Design tab. And within the Design tab, we're going to right-click the Details section, and we're going to select Format Section. We get a message that's notifying us that we cannot perform this command and keep our drill down and analyzer tabs. If we continue, they're going to be closed. That means that Austin and Huntsville from up above are going to be closed, and that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. This time, I'm going to actually suppress, so I'm not going to allow drill down. Clicking OK, let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and preview the report. And when we're previewing it, if I right-click on Buenos Aires, it does allow drill down. But notice that even though we're capable of drilling down, we can't actually see the data for that particular city. Notice we only get our group header and our group footer. Let's go back to preview and try it with Huntsville, which you saw we worked with before. And if we try to drill down, again, we cannot see any of the customers within Huntsville. We only see Huntsville itself. What if I've decided that I once again want to allow people to drill down and see the data? I go back to the Design tab again, and I'm going to right-click the Details section. Select Format Section if I'd like, but alternatively, I can select Show. Again, I get the same warning, and click OK, and I can also right-click the Details section and say Don't Suppress. Now if we go back to preview, we're getting the default behavior where not only we can see the data, but we can also right-click and we can drill down into it as well. So we're back to where we were originally. If I return to the Design tab and right-click the Detail section and select Format section, notice that by selecting these options up here, which toggle back and forth, notice that these check marks were actually removed automatically for me. So there's two ways that we can deal with hiding and suppressing. We can bring up the Section Expert, and then we can click to check either of these boxes or to uncheck them. Or remember that we can right-click the Details section, select Hide or Suppress, and once we do that, if we right-click again, notice that Hide turns to Show. If we select Suppress, notice that we get Don't Suppress. So again, we can do these from the Section Expert where we can do all sorts of things, or we can do them simply with a right-click. Now that we've taken a look at the processes of hiding and suppressing sections, let's take a look at how we can insert page breaks before or after a section. Let's begin by saving the work that we've done thus far. I click to select Save, and I've created a folder called Allison's Cool Reports. I'm going to place this report within there. This is going to be Customers by City. I'll go ahead and click Save.